guys, another episode of Everything Goes. I'm so excited because everyone is always worried about real estate, the economy, rent, everything in between. So I was like, let me hit up one of my girls who I love so much, who is killing it in this real estate game. Valencia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so I am Valencia Jacobs Brown, the fabulous broker owner of J. Brown Realty. So I own my own real estate brokerage in Brockton, Massachusetts, and my company services all of Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
Okay, big shit.
Period.
Period. My girl is killing it out here. So before we get into how did you start your brokerage, how did you get into real estate, all of that, let's give the people the basics. So where are you from?
Okay. So I am originally from Massachusetts. I was born in Brockton, and I lived in a few places over my lifetime with my mom. Like all of us, we all move around a little bit. But yes, I am settled back in Massachusetts for a while now, hopefully a few more years. So we'll see if this weather gets any worse. I'm leaving, but I'm here.
Yeah. So I also know you're a mom.
Yes.
So how is that balancing doing real estate, being a mom, always being on call?
Okay, girl, there's no balance. let's just be real. There's no balance.
Yep.
You just got to get up and do your best every day and work in alignment with yourself. Being a mom is a wonderful job. I love my son. I just have one kid. That's it.
Yes.
I love him.
Are you one and done? Like
I
me?
don't know. I want a girl so I can have, one of each. But my son's independent, and I'm a MILF now, so I don't even know. I don't know if I can do it.
Speaking of MILF, okay, you brought it up on me. Are you single?
I am single.
Are you looking?
No.
And why is that? Is it because you did just start your brokerage?
Yes.
Congratulations on that again.
You.
Clink, clink.
Thank you.
Oh, we need a refill.
So I opened my brokerage in January of this year, so January of 2024. So it's been 5 months.
Cheers! Now we can
really cheers. So it's been a journey, but I love it. I love it so much. It's my passion, and I love doing it. So I get up every day with the mindset to do it.
So that's your man right now.
That's my man.
Exactly.
And that's the man that pays the bills.
Okay.
So that's the only one that I'm dating right now. Okay.
So how did you start in real estate? Like when you went to in high school, were you into it? Like how has your career path gone?
So I actually went to school for teaching. I wanted to be a teacher so bad, and then I had a kid. Okay. Yes. First of all, I took calculus and was like, fuck this. But then I also had a kid, and I was working at a daycare, and it was just so draining to work with children all day, then go home and take care of your own child. So I ended up transitioning into the banking world, and I became a teller at Santander Bank. So that was like my first real introduction to real estate was through banking. And then I was able to get a position in the back office of a small bank in Dorchester, which is where I learned the residential, like real estate side of things. So I did that for a few years. I excelled at that. And then my company was being bought. So it was like, okay, I was introduced to some people. I seen I was closing out home loans. I was crunching the numbers. I was the QC girl. So I had to make sure everything was down to the T as far as the numbers went, the documents, everything. So I was like, well, you know what? This company's getting bought. I live on the South Shore. I'm not trying to travel to the North Shore because they wanted me to go to like Malden for work. I was like, I'm never going to make it on 93. I'm never going to get to work. So I was like, you know what? I know I got skills.
Love a realistic queen.
I was very realistic. Like, one, I wasn't getting on the commuter belt. I just knew that. And two, I was not going to ever make it to work going from the South Shore to the North Shore. I was like, this is impossible.
No, not happening.
So I was like, you know what? Let's try real estate. I'm going to try to take my test, take a stab at it. If it doesn't work out, I can go back and get an office job.
Exactly.
I can do it. I know I can do it.
Yep.
So I was like, let me just try. And I haven't looked back ever since.
Oh my gosh. And you've been excelling ever since.
Yes.
All right. So what's the hardest thing about real estate for a Black woman in Massachusetts?
Ooh. So that's a really good question. So the hardest thing for a Black woman in real estate in Massachusetts is, I think, the being taken seriously. Like your knowledge. Like we know a lot, but it's very cliquey. Like it's a very cliquey business, and it's dominated by white people.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what's the most, like, who do you see the most when you go to these type of business parties, business rooms? Like, do you see yourself a lot, like a fellow black woman?
Oh, no. So, no, you don't. I feel like we're just starting to break through in Massachusetts. I actually had to go outside of Massachusetts to find my tribe originally, because the company that I started at, there were like 90 agents and 5 of us were black. And the rest was white. So it was a good learning experience, because I got to see things from kind of like a corporate real estate standpoint. But it was just like, where are my people? Who can I connect with? And it was really hard to find that. I had to go outside of the state. I had to go to Chicago to find that. Chicago and then Atlanta. So it's like I had to like
make sense.
Yeah.
But Chicago has
a lot of black just excellence. Chicago has a lot of black excellence. So it was beautiful to go and see the women who are already dominating in these different spaces in real estate. And like, it showed me like, okay, I have something to strive for. I can actually be successful in this business, because I see these other women who, when I came in, I was 25. So I'm seeing women who are 40, 50, like hitting their peak. And I'm like, oh, I'm starting early. I can do this by 30.
Yes, exactly.
So it was just, I take it as it is. Like, I had to step outside of my comfort zone, but hey, I was able to bring that back and then compete with my white counterparts and those peers. And I love them. There are some really great ones in the industry that I've met, but that's just a lot of what you see. You know?
Wow. Okay, so how did you get was it hard getting your license and stuff? Like, so you have to go back to school, basically? So
you do have to go to school. Okay. You do have to go to school. I want to say this disclaimer, like,
tell us the real. We want to hear the real. We want to hear everything.
Listen,
everything goes.
The barrier of entry into real estate, like the bar is set so low. I'm not even gonna lie, like the bar is set so low. So I got my license right when I decided I was gonna do it. I started looking up schools and I started seeing the cost. I went on Groupon, found my school. I paid $150.
Wait, what? Groupon?
This is when Groupon was popping. This is when Groupon.
I still use it here and there. Groupon. I got my spot from Groupon for me and my mother. And
Yes.
You could find a real estate school.
They have Groupon, real estate schools on there.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's amazing.
It is. So the class was discounted.
I
So
didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's a 40-hour class that you have to take. So you have to do the 40 hours of the course before you can actually apply to take your license.
Wow.
So that's like the main requirement. And you have to get a sign off by the teacher, basically saying that you took the class. And then they put it on your application.
Do you have to pay for the test?
Yes, so the test has
test?
Yeah, it has its own separate fee. So there's a fee for the test, and then once you pass the test, there's a fee for your license.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's how they get their money.
Yep. Because imagine how many people don't pass the test. They're just collecting money every time you go in, whether you pass or fail.
I was just going to say, so did you get a support group, like, to study for the test? Like, you know how some people for nursing, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I gotta get a group, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Was the test hard?
No, so I'm a little bit of a loner.
Yes.
I'd be moving to my own drum.
Same. And she is.
No, so literally,
she's a friendly loner, though.
I'm a friendly loner. Like, when I
we
go
love
out,
a friendly loner.
Yeah. I just stick to me, but then I know how to like be with people.
Exactly.
But I'm not like awkwardly
lonely. There's
like
levels of that lonely shit.
There's levels of that lonely shit. So freaking, that's so funny.
We don't like those.
Not one of those. But I took the test, so I did it in 2017, and the way they like allow you to take the test is a little different now. They take longer, but back then, like I took the test. I took the test. No word of a lie. In 2 weekends, I went to Saturday. That's what my story. I feel like it's like an anomaly. Like I took the test in 2 weekends. Yeah, so I went Saturday, Sunday, and then that Monday, like I took it was like Halloween, and I went and took the test, and I passed.
Yes, off of one try.
So it's not easy. It's not easy. But I did it, and
look at you. Okay, so after you took the test, you were like, I'm just going to start my own brokerage. I know you didn't do that, but what was the, for the ones that want to do real estate.
Yeah.
So after you took the test, you went to go work for someone else, correct?
Yes, I worked under another brokerage. So,
and how was that experience?
It was
being
good.
the newbie.
It was actually good because my whole focus, like anytime I do something, I'm like, I need to be educated in what I'm doing, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I just took that like first year as like a big education piece, and I wish more agents would do that.
Nice.
I think a lot of agents focus on the sales part of it, but it's like you really need to focus on like how to do this because it is a whole business.
I was just gonna say, so for your first year, did you have another job?
Yes. So I started part-time. So I was still, so my bank had got bought, but I ended up going to Dedham Savings. So I was at another bank working and doing that like after hours.
Okay.
So it was like a
so
dual
you can have
career.
Money.
Yeah. Cause I was like, I don't have clientele yet.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm surrounding myself with the right people, so I will have that clientele down the line. But I needed to pay my bills. So understandably, you got a kid, you got to work. So I definitely started dual career, but like I had a deadline on that.
Oh, really?
Like I knew like I wanted to get into real estate full time, but I just needed to like I make my goals very money like focused. Yeah. So it was like, okay, these are what my bills are. I need to make this every month. Yeah. So and it wasn't just making the bills, it was like making the bills and then living, because I'm not about to get into this career just to pay my bills. Yeah. Like I want to actually thrive and live my life. So yeah, so I like set myself up to say, all right, I'm going to start here, but once I start making this money here, then I'll be ready to go full time. And that's what I did. I ended up transitioning.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So how long did it take for you to get your first? So what was your first sale? A condo, an apartment? Let's bring it back to 27. So did you get a sale in 2017?
So I started. I joined my brokerage in November of 2017. My first sale wasn't until February of 2018.
Oh my gosh! So I think I would have been like, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Like imagine not getting paid.
Me. I'm not getting paid. Yeah. I'm still working. So what kept you like, come on, I gotta do this? Like, where did the drive come from?
The drive comes, one, you're changing people's lives.
Yes.
Like you are literally changing how people see things. And before I got into the business, I bought my first property. So before I was even in real estate, I seen like the benefits of owning real estate. Yeah. So once I was like, all right, I just have to learn this more. Like going through my own transaction, I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. And then like I learned it and I joined this company and I started talking to people more and seeing like how they do it in the $1 million side of things. Like the upper end of real estate, and I was like, oh, I can absolutely do this. Like I can do this. So it was just really like envisioning myself and manifesting like that's where I want to be and going for it.
Oh my goodness, girl.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't tell me. So what was your first property that you did in 2018?
So in 2018, February 2018. So I helped a client, and I think he found me online or something.
Yes.
3-family in Fall River.
Wow,
for $169,000.
What? A 3-family?
A 3-family in Fall River.
That was definitely 2018.
I wish I could have had 1,000 hymns at the time, because Fall River now, that same house is on the market. Not on the market, but it's valued at like $600,000.
What?
The same house.
Wow.
He ended up selling it a year later for $269,000, but I'm like, you should have just held on, because you could have
waited
3 years. You could have had $400,000.
Wow. So speaking of that, so how is it now? Is it a little harder because of what's going on in the economy for homes and stuff?
Oh, yes.
Versus when you started in like 2017.
It's harder. It's the qualifications are so much harder now because the interest rates. Yeah. And that runs based off of the economy and you know, all of that. Yeah. Excuse me. So the interest rates definitely make it hard, and then the prices make it hard too. So it's like not only are you combating or trying to fight these high interest rates, which you're paying double in the interest of what you would have paid 3 years ago, but now you're also fighting these high prices because these sellers want to cash out, and they're like, this is my property, I put all this work into it, or I had it all this time, I want what it's worth. Yes. But affordability wise, it's very, very hard. Sometimes it even seems unrealistic for people to get into housing these days. Like what you have to make, I always tell people now, I'm like, at minimum, you want to be making $125,000 comfortably to step into the housing market.
Damn, that is the truth. And everybody, more brown people need to hear that.
125,000, and that can be two people making 60,000 and 70,000 combined. But like
a single person
or a household, you need to at minimum be making $125,000.
Wow.
And Massachusetts is like rated one of the top places to live, one of the top places to be.
Right.
Like there's all these great things that they say about the city, but the affordability to live in the state is just crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's literally ridiculous.
This is not poor man's land at all.
That's rich money. And everybody always want to talk about they want to move to New York, they want to move to California, they want to move to Miami, but they don't realize like that's my American dream, is to be able to afford a home here in Massachusetts by myself, and then I can think about other states, you know? Because I feel like if you could afford it here, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If you could afford a condo here or a home here, it's true you can afford it in other places.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So like if you're looking at another place, I would say like have a remote job that you got that's paying you here. So you can go have your quality of life somewhere else, because you can absolutely get double in housing what you get here somewhere else. Like what we spend for $500,000 here, it's a ranch. It's a small ranch, 3 bedrooms, no more than 1,500 square feet, where you can go to these other states and get that same type of house for 3,000 square feet for the same price, $5,000. $500,000, 3,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, land. Like you can get so much more in other places. So it's just like, if you can do it here, if you can survive here, you can survive anywhere.
Oh my God.
You can survive anywhere.
Oh my goodness. So what do you think, like, do you think the brown and black community have a disadvantage when it comes to real estate and education about homes and buying homes and everything like that? And that's why everyone's so comfortable staying and renting?
I think there's a few things that happen, a few factors. I think there's a huge financial literacy issue. Just in our community from years and years ago, that we are just always like kind of playing catch up. And we just live in this space where it's like a lot of us didn't have. So the minute we have, we're spending and we're doing this and we're doing that, and we're not really like investing into the future. When you look at these other cultures, how they come together, how they invest their money, they're doing it early and they're coming together and they're making it happen. Even a lot of Caribbean people, a lot of Haitians and just Caribbean people coming here now, you're seeing them band together more than the people who are here now do.
That's true.
So it's a financial literacy issue. What was the question again?
No, it's okay. If we're in the disadvantage, you are answering
the disadvantage.
it.
Yes.
You are answering it.
It's like I feel like the minute our people, black people, people of color, finally like reach the level of entry, they set the bar higher.
It's true.
So it's like if everybody,
I watched my father do it.
It's like imagine
his first property in Dorchester was like, all right, Dorchester's getting too bad. This is like I was in second grade, so 2000 and
like
whatever.
That's a whole systematic.
He was like, it's getting too bad. Sold his 3-family in Dorchester across from BK, y'all Washington Street. Sold it and was like, I'm gonna go to Milton. I'm going to take my family and move to Milton. Bought a house in Milton. Guess what happened? He refinanced all this next stuff, which you can talk about how black, like a lot of, they don't know about.
They don't even know
about that. And my dad's Haitian. We're Haitian, so he don't know. His mother didn't or father didn't teach him.
There's
nothing.
Like,
he was
history.
the first. Exactly. He was the first in his family to buy property in America. So like he had to learn so much. So much. So had to do a short sale in Milton. Like, you know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't know, that I'm so happy that we have people our generation. Now, our generation, we're actually like, no, we're going to do this the right way for our kids.
Exactly. We're like thinking ahead almost. But there's so, like you said, like there's such a lack of education, and there's so many people who are just now the first ones doing it in their family. And it's like, you know, kudos to you, but we also need to band together, because there's so much that we don't know. There's so many foreclosures and short sales that could have been avoided with the right education. Because like,
so how bad is refinancing? Because now I'm traumatized.
I'll never.
If my man ever says he wants to refinance, like, baby, now.
Refinancing is actually a good thing if you do it at the right time. And if you do it with the right company. Like, there was a lot of predatory lending going on back in 2008. So a lot of people, especially our people, got caught up in bad mortgages and got their properties taken away. They were given these like predatory loans that they didn't understand the terms,
because the recession happened,
and then the recession hit. All that. So now everybody loses all this value in their house.
Yep.
They're like scrambling to figure things out, and now they're almost scarred.
Yes.
Because imagine you thinking you've got the American dream, you bought this house, they didn't ask you for no documents, they just let you sign a paper,
Yep.
and then you lose the house 5 years later to a bad economy.
Yep.
You would never want to even really do it again.
No.
You would be terrified. You'd be traumatized.
Yes.
Like, I just really had to go through that. My credit's fucked up.
Yep.
Like, my job is not what it used to be. Now I have to
Yep.
figure out a place for my family to live. It's like the chance we get ahead. Because
Yep.
the minute we get a chance, like to
like,
scratch this, they take it right away. They take it right away.
And and we can stop that.
We can stop that
By
we can
education.
stop that by education and
Yep.
doing things sooner. I think a lot of our people, everybody wants to hesitate and take their time, and it's just like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen so many people gain so much equity in their home just by getting their home and not second guessing it.
Right.
Because you can actually tap into that equity and pay for your education.
Yeah.
You can pay for repairs. You can do debt consolidation. You can go buy another property. That's what I did.
Yes.
So I bought my property. It appreciated. So I had like an extra $150,000 of equity in my property.
Yes.
I refinanced and took what's called a HELOC, and I used that to buy my condo.
Wow.
So I didn't have to go save another $50,000.
Right.
My house did it for me. But it was the education around
Yes.
knowing that you can do that,
Right.
and now you can go boss up and buy another property.
Oh my gosh.
So it's the education. So that's why I'm heavy
This
on, like,
episode is tea,
I'm
y'all.
telling you, I am heavy on telling people. I'm putting you
on.
on, like, it's there. If you want it, it's there.
Yes.
If you want to learn about real estate, it's all around us now.
Right. It
so
is.
if you don't
Selling
do it,
Sunset.
that's girl.
I love those shows.
They're cute,
You
but
need to
they're
be
not
on
the
there.
real. They're not the real. No, because if I get on there, I'm gonna be too real, because that's not the real of how real estate goes. Like, real estate behind the scenes is negotiations, it's strategy, it's collaboration. Like, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see.
So you need a team. I feel like, so when buying a home, you need a team surrounding you.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you can't do it by yourself.
You can do it by yourself, but you need that team of the right people. And who are the right people to build a team with?
Yes,
that's your realtor who's going to find you the property. That's your lender who's going to get you financing, explain what type of financing you have. Your insurance agent, your home inspector. Like, girl, you need everybody. You need like a good 5 people up front.
Oh my gosh.
And my biggest piece of advice is choose like one person that's outside of the business circle that you trust to go back and forth with, and talk through this situation with. Don't tell everybody what your goals are, because people are going to hate on you if they've never done it. They're going to prey on your downfall. If they see you bossing up about to go buy a condo, they're going to be like, girl, why are you buying a condo? You should stay renting. Like, no, I shouldn't. I should own something.
Y'all heard my real estate.
Listen,
okay,
tell them, like,
right here.
Have your circle. Having the right circle will make the difference. It will make a world of a difference in your success in this real estate game.
I know that's right.
It will make a world of a difference. So,
oh my gosh,
the right team isn't all your family members.
Yes, I was just about to say,
it's absolutely not all of your family members. Find your one trusted person, and that's it. Your uncle who brought a house in 1999 is not. Listen to me, y'all hear me? They are not about to have the same experience you are going to have in this real estate market.
2024.
It's 2024. Computers weren't even the same then. It's just a different world. Nobody's gonna see that value from back then and feel like what you're buying at now is worth it. Everything's gonna feel overpriced. Everything's gonna feel like it's not worth it.
Yes, that's true.
There's just a different perspective. So you have to take a look at your overall life yourself. Look at your budget. Get your finances in order and say, okay, I know just me alone, this is what I can afford to do, and I'm gonna go for it no matter what.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Yeah. You guys here, you want her on your team, huh?
That's it.
Her on your team.
I don't play it. Listen, I'm not here to be liked. I mean, that's cute.
Yes, I was just
I'm here to
say,
get business done.
This is why she's still in this game.
And I make it look good. That's it.
And this is why she's still in this game. Started in 2017, and it is 2024, and now she has her own brokerage. So speaking of that, your brokerage. So what do you do now? Are you still selling homes and doing this?
Yes, so I'm still very much involved in the entire buying process. I do have a team, so now I can disperse my clients to people on my team to take care of. But I do a lot of overhead management. It almost feels like you're just a manager half the time.
Oh my God.
Because it's a lot of overhead management and admin work. I just brought on an admin full time so I can free myself. Because I love
that's right. We hiring
Okay?
We are helping the economy.
We are helping the economy, and we are delegating these activities.
Yes,
okay, we are delegating.
yes.
So,
and we love a queen that knows she cannot do it all.
Oh yeah, no,
That is how you succeed in this business.
Believer. I am one who I'm paying for professional services because I just know what I'm capable of.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's it. I'm not trying to be the hairdresser, the stylist, the photographer, the damn stager. I am A-okay just being the realtor. I don't even like playing lender. Sometimes I have to explain stuff and I'm like, talk to the lender because I know my capabilities and my skill sets and my strengths. And I am totally fine with just that.
That is how I am with the show. I was like, I'm a good talker, but do you see this equipment, this setup, everything? It's Ezra. You have to have a team and be
Shout
okay.
out to Ezra.
Shout out to Ezra always. Literally, because I'm like, I don't know, when some girls be like, you can do the camera, you can do the Langston, you can do this, you can do that. I be like,
but who? But when? If you wait on yourself, you're not gonna do it.
Okay, I'm not. And it's if I'm waiting on myself, I'm not gonna do it. That is so freaking true because Ezra is the reason why I even started the show. When we were working at our job, he was like, "You need to start your show. When are we gonna do this? When are we gonna start the show?" That is so. Cheers. That is so true. So that's how you feel about your team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if no one can contact you.
No, they can.
No, I'm saying if they can't contact you, you know that your team got your back.
Exactly.
And they're going to execute.
Team got my back hands down. I actually love being able to pass off my referrals to people on my team.
Oh, I love
because
that.
they're like a little extension of me. I try to create little Valencias. It doesn't always work, but I really do try to create little me because I know how dedicated I am to the business and how I make my clients feel.
Yes.
This is an experience that you're going through. Buying your first home, a lot of realtors will just make it transactional, but this is an entire experience. It's emotional. You're spending a shit ton of money, probably the most money you're going to be asking to borrow in your lifetime. And it's a lot to take in. So I always really I'm always checking in on my clients. I'm always updating them on the things that are going on because I'm like, I need you to feel comfortable and educated making this purchase. So I teach that to my agents. Like, you're not here just to get a check. You're here to change somebody's lives and the trajectory of their entire family. So if you can't be like me and get that, we can't work together. So we ain't in alignment.
I was just about to say, so have you had to go your separate ways with people before, like working together in this business? And how did you go your separate ways without burning bridges? Because I heard in real estate, and all these reality shows, selling sunset, everything.
Oh, girl.
Selling
you want
Tampa.
The tea.
I love Tampa because Tampa was the black one. I feel like that was real. I want the tea.
Sherelle's my girl.
Okay. I was like, the Tampa one was a little bit more realer than the other one. So how do you go your separate way? Like, how did you leave your last brokerage to be like, okay, I'm about to start my own without making them feel
that? I mean, the feelings are going to be what the feelings are.
Okay.
I've always had a plan to open my own brokerage, and I even let my broker know that from the beginning.
Okay.
So it was kind of business is business. I know he was sad to see me go, but it was something. It was kind of like the next step in my career.
Nice.
Like, it was just the next thing that I had to do. So I am a firm believer of just talking to people, communicating, and just letting things be known. I didn't want to be shady and just leave. So I sat down and I had the conversation, and I was like, my time is kind of done here, and it's time for me to go on and do my own thing.
Wow.
But just working with people in this industry in general. I let my agents know. I'm very frank. I am as blunt as they come.
Okay, cutthroat.
I always tell them, you don't have a gun to your head to be here.
Oh my God.
You are a contractor.
So tell them your sign, please.
I'm an Aries.
Yes. Let's just. So she's keeping it real. If the money ain't coming in, if the attitude's bad too, and you're not bringing money,
you're not bringing no money.
You gotta go.
But I just let people know, what you get in is what you put out is what's gonna come back to you. Okay, so this is really a full circle job each and every time. If you're not making your calls, if you're not talking to people, if you're not networking, if you're not showing houses, especially on the weekends when people are available, you're not gonna be successful in this business.
You want a brunch Saturday?
So you want a brunch Saturday and lay up and do this? You ain't gonna be successful because the people that have the money that are buying buying, they're most likely people who are working during the week. So you are going to be servicing them evenings and weekends.
Yes,
that's just what it is. So I keep things very straightforward. And I let people know I love you, but business is business.
Right.
Business, it ain't nobody mess up my business. Not what I built from the ground up.
I love that.
So I think I lay the foundation from the beginning. And I don't care if you think I'm a bitch. I don't care if you think any of that. The people who have the most success are the ones that look bitchy up front because they set the tone and didn't let anybody walk all over them. Okay. And then everything else flourishes from there. So that's how I approach it.
Queen and boss. And I love that because you have to be honest with people and tell them what they're dealing with up front. Not just switch up when they didn't, because it's been 2 months and they haven't made any
like you knew.
Wait, did I say cold calls?
Cold calls, right? You didn't make any cold calls, so you ain't got no damn sales. So thankfully, I haven't had to let anybody go. My team is actually growing, but I did set that requirement up front. Like, if this is what you need to do in order to stay with this company, I love that. I had to set that too, just because I work so hard. I'm on the phones every day, on top of doing admin work, on top of doing all these different jobs.
So and wearing all these hats. Cold calls?
I still, I try to get in like 5 a day at least. I'm at least picking up the phone and calling 5 people a day just to be like, okay, I tried, or I can go back and try again tomorrow. So I'm still very involved in the business. So if I'm involved in the business at this capacity, you can absolutely do that job at that capacity, because you are not carrying the load that I'm carrying whatsoever.
Facts. I hear that. Work smarter, not harder, right?
Work smarter, not harder.
Yes. Okay, so is there any bit of advice you want to give people? Like, some people, some absolutely, this is false. Like, false news when it comes to buying property, real estate, coming into this game. Like, absolutely false.
Oh, man.
You know you hear a lot.
I know, you hear
like,
so
much.
Let
me hear. I heard that, like, if you buy one property and then you can't buy another one within 2 years.
That's totally false. That's totally false.
Go ahead, explain that.
So, you typically, depending on the type of loan that you have, they typically have a certain amount of time that they want you to stay in the property.
Yeah.
But for the majority of these loans, they want you to be there for 1 year. So after 1 year, you can refinance, or you can, if you have saved up cash, you can go buy another property and turn that into an investment or sell it.
I love that.
And so people get into 30-year loans. The average loan that somebody gets into is a 30-year fixed rate loan.
Shit.
You do not have to. It sounds long as hell, right? Like, that's the rest of my life.
No, but the rest of my life.
but you don't have. You're not stuck to that 30-year loan. You can refinance and shorten those terms. You can do a 15-year loan.
Yes.
Or you can sell that property, pay off that loan, and move on to another property.
I love that.
You're not stuck to that loan forever. You're just stuck to it for the time that you have it until you decide to make a move.
Okay, so good advice for the. I really want. This is like marriage. Buying property. Do you
have your own?
I was just about to say. What
at
if
least
my
have
husband
one
was
of your
like,
own.
honey, we're gonna buy this house together. Cindy, put your name on it. And I'm just going to be the second or third person, but my main name is on that.
So there is no main name on a loan.
You see? Yep.
There is no main name. You guys are co-borrowers.
Yes.
You look 50-50 to the bank. Ain't nobody coming first.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If y'all get divorced, that property's getting split 50-50.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get into these stay-at-home mom situations with the husband.
Yeah.
And then I see it on these Facebook group pages all day. The wives are ready to leave and divorce, and the husband's the breadwinner.
Yes.
And they can't afford to stay in the house, and now they have to sell the house.
Yes.
No. Get your own separately. You can buy your first house with 3.5% down with an FHA loan. Buy your first property each.
Oh, okay.
And then, so you each have your own asset. Yes. And then you can come together to buy that single family home that you want to be in.
You see? So, and my dad's calling me crazy because I want to buy my little condo.
First of all, girls are running the world right now.
Yeah.
Okay. We are buying up all the real estate. I think it's like 62%. 62% of women are realtors, and I think it's like 59% are like woman-owned real estate. Like, we are really killing it. So
we're killing it.
Get your own piece of real estate, just because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And if you got to backtrack, at least you got a house that you could tell a tenant they got to go and you can get your unit back.
Yeah.
But have your own. Yeah. Because you just never know. And he should have his own too.
Yes. So do you feel like couples that are like getting ready to get married, do you feel like they should still rent until they each could buy their own property? Or do you feel like if that's a decision they want to make, to just buy one property, that's still fine. But just make sure you have something in writing in case of a divorce or separation.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you feel about that?
When you go 50-50 joint tenants when you buy a property. Like
okay,
the deed is
the
deed is 50-50.
It's 50-50.
So
if you're married or if you're just
if
together,
you're married or if you say we were buying as sisters, we're 50-50
exactly.
sisters.
Okay.
So you just look, or if there's 3 of us, we're 33.
Whoever's on the deed gets the value, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, unless there's some other type of agreement that's out there. Unless your divorce proceedings say this person gets 80% of the equity. Right. Just in general, you're evenly splitting things up.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you are preparing to get married,
I'm not.
I would say
still single here.
Listen, single ladies.
But go ahead.
You know, I feel like you should have your own. I feel like you should have your own.
That's such a good advice.
Like, and work together too. Like, just because I go to buy my own, that doesn't mean you and I can't live in this house while you prepare your finances to get on paper to buy another house.
Yes,
we can work. We should be do that. If we're married or we're planning to get married, we should be working together.
The ego should not be there.
The ego should not be there.
And
it should be building.
To say, have you experienced that? You, of course, no client names, but have you been at the negotiation table or something going on during the buying process, and you see the egos coming out with the couples?
Oh,
I wouldn't be Cindy if I wasn't trying to get a little bit more tea.
Yes, you see it all the time.
Oh my God.
You see it all the time.
And what advice do you give them when you see it? Do they call you separately talking about each other?
I don't get too much. Usually there's one dominant person. There's usually the dominant person that I talk to. I try to keep the conversation, like the people who are going to be making the decision, I try to keep it involved that way, but there's usually one who's more dominant that ends up talking to me more than the other.
Yes.
But girl, I push that right back in their ball court.
Okay, good.
I'm not getting in the middle of y'all drama.
Okay, good. You keep it strictly
This is what it is. I lay it all out on the table. This is what it is. These are your options. What do you want to do?
Okay, good.
If you got too much ego and you don't feel comfortable buying with him, do not buy with him.
Yes.
Do what feels right.
And vice versa for the males too.
And vice versa for the males too.
Because sometimes I know you probably see the little gold digger women that be having the men with the money, and you're just like, damn, sir, you about to get.
Yeah.
You about to get in this.
There's 2 ways you can kind of go about that. You can kind of pull that male client to the side and be like, hey, I understand this person's here to, work this out with you, but you are my client, so I just want to make sure I'm respecting your wishes. Like, are you blink twice if you say
if you really want to do this?
Blink twice if you really want to do this. But sometimes you just gotta involve the little gold digger in on it. Like, if he really loves her, who am I to be breaking up your relationship? I'm here as a professional to get my cut and do my job. I'm not here to be a therapist. I'm already a damn therapist half the time.
Yes, I was just about to say. I feel like realtors, real estate brokers, I feel like it's a whole like you wear many hats.
You wear so many hats. I think the best piece of advice for the wearing so many hats is setting the boundaries. It took me a long time in my career to set boundaries with clients. Yeah. But now I don't play. Don't call me. I'm not answering after 7. Yeah. I don't work on Sundays. Okay. I have a team that will assist you and help you. I'm going to help you and be available if you need me. If things aren't going the way you think, call me. Yes, I'm available. But I had to set my boundaries because these clients will text you at 2 a.m. about a property.
Oh my gosh.
They will reach out with the craziest requests, and I am not afraid to put anybody in a place. Yeah. I don't play none of those games. You know how many guys? Yes, go ahead. Girl, how many guys hit me up? Oh, I'm looking to buy real estate, but they really just want to talk to me. They just want to hit on me. Like, I don't play none of those games. I get straight to the point, and I can see right through people now. Like, when they come in my DMs with the conversations, I'm like,
oh, you ain't got nothing.
Like, you're the 1,000th one. Let's see what you got.
Literally. Oh my gosh. I love this. Oh, this was so much fun. I know you gotta go. Yes. It's almost, we gotta wrap this up. Yes. So is there any last thoughts you want to leave the people? How can they reach you? Yes. Are you open for business? Give them all the goods.
Okay,
give my people the goods.
We do have a brick and mortar location in Brockton, 567 Pleasant Street, Suite 201. So you're welcome to come in Monday through Friday. We have someone in the office. Ooh. So if you want to sit down and have a consultation, you can do that. You can also find me on Instagram at Valencia Sells Homes. Yes. And you can click on the link in my bio to book a consultation.
Yep.
Whether you're trying to buy or sell, I can help you with both.
And your marketing is amazing on your Instagram. I see it, girl. I see it. It's easy to find.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Continue.
Yeah, so you can find me. My personality, I like to tell people, like, my personality and who I am, like the brand is on the Valencia Sells Home. The business, like the sales, is on my J Brown Realty site.
Yep.
So I try to like separate that a little bit, because it's like, you know, what do you do? Who do you serve? Like there's all these different things that you have to reach. So I kind of run 2 pages and disperse that way. But
I love it.
You can find me on socials.
Thank you for taking the time to come and educate me and all my peoples, because they literally, I was like, I need this. We don't have this. We need more of this.
Yes.
I think more of it.
Yeah, and I think like for a final, like,
yes, go ahead.
You know, to do.
Yes, go ahead.
Don't be afraid to get the education.
Yes.
Like, you never know. A lot of people will just be reserved and hold off and think that they're not ready.
Right.
Have the consultation. It's free. Talk to a professional in a certain, like in a real estate field about real estate. Like, you're going to talk to a doctor about your health issues.
Yep.
You never know. You might already be ready. You might have a cousin, a spouse, a person that you can work things out with to buy real estate.
Yes.
But the sooner you buy, the sooner you change your wealth.
Yes.
You change your life. So it's like, do it. Don't be afraid.
Yes.
You can always sell real estate if things don't work out, but it's something that has been tremendously like helpful in turning my life around as a single parent. So I just see it for so many other people where I'm like, if I did it, you can do it.
Yes. And after signing that paper, you're not done with your clients' relationships either. It's not like you say, okay, bye, you bought this home, I'm out.
Yeah. So we do like a client appreciation party every year.
Yes.
Where we welcome our clients back. I'm always checking in on clients. I leave the door open to be like, hey, if you need any recommendations for contractors, I got them all. I'm like the person who knows a guy.
Yes.
So
you never ever leaving her, basically, once you work with her.
It's like we're family. I'm always telling people, like, invite me to the cookout.
Yes.
I'll come.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you for taking the time. I love you, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is amazing.
Yay, thank you, boo. Everything goes.
Yes. Everything goes.